Well, hello there, chaps.
The Grand Budapest Hotel is a 2015 film written and directed by movie icon Wes Anderson, briefly featuring our very own Regis alumni Bill Murray. The movie depicts a girl reading a book by a man who recounts his conversations with a Mr. Zero, who tells him the story of the beloved M. Gustav and the Grand Budapest Hotel in the 1930s. A complicated untangling, of course, as all Wes Anderson films are. Essentially, the movie follows the investigation of the murder of Madame D., one of M. Gustav's lady friends, we'll say, where he is one of the prime suspects of the murder. The rest of the movie follows the escapades of M. Gustav and Zero, his lobby boy, trying to clear his name and escape the ever-present militia. Perhaps one of the most standout things about Wes Anderson films, but most significantly the Grand Budapest Hotel, is their attention to color and cinematography. In almost every scene of the movie there is a distinct color theme. In the opening scene, where the author first sees Zero at the Grand Budapest, the hotel has a classic 1960s look, with brown and orange color themes and particular fonts so the viewer can recognize the time period. However, once Zero starts to recall his story, the scene shifts back to the 1930s, and the main color themes are pink and purple, where everything in the hotel is ornate and lavish. The colors also help represent the mood of the story. When the enemy war troops take over the hotel when M. Gustav is under investigation for murder, the hotel's color theme changes to blacks and grays. Another good example is when Gustav and Zero are traveling across enemy lines. They look out and it is simply an expanse of white snow and gray landscape. One of my favorite moments of color is when M. Gustav calls upon the Society of the Crossed Keys, an establishment of lavish hotels who look out for one another. As M. Gustav calls one hotel, they each subsequently call the next. Each of the hotels involved in the Society of the Crossed Keys has their own color schemes, which to me, and I'm sure most viewers, is quite aesthetically pleasing. Another key feature of Wes Anderson movies is their unique cinematography. Often using one shot to capture a whole scene is a key element of the movie. This effect is particularly visually intriguing because most movies use lots of cuts and switch back and forth between scenes, items, and characters. We usually don't notice these rapid camera changes because it's so natural to us. But when scenes are shot without switching cameras or angles, our eyes are drawn to them in a way we often don't recognize. Another thing I love is the parallelism, not only within the same scene, but also across different scenes of the movie. This parallelism is also seen when the Society of the Crossed Keys is called together. Each of them is performing a different task, then subsequently tells their lobby boys to take over while they answer the phone and then call the next hotel. Quirky and fresh, the Grand Budapest Hotel is one of my favorite movies of all time. A murder mystery in a new light, incorporating color, cinematography, and amazing acting, of course. I would highly recommend this movie to anyone who claims to be a movie snob, and even people who are not. This movie will not fail to deliver.